Thanks for staying with us. So recently, a Nigerian televangelist was seen with his congregation talking about what happened during lockdown. While a lot of people were having hard times and losing their jobs, he was not worried because he recently acquired 3 private jets to add to his previous 2. And that while others were praying for COVID to end, he wasn't. He didn't want it to end. This video went viral and obviously came with quite a bit of criticisms. We didn't want to talk about it when it happened because we waited for the evangelist to respond because we understand that people do make mistakes. I mean, these things happen. You say things out of carelessness. And so we waited for him to respond. And eventually he did. And he did apologize and said that that was not the intention. And he apologized to everybody for what he uttered. But obviously, as I said in Yoruba, once the words drop, that's it. It's like egg, you can't pack it up. So I would like us to discuss not just about him, because it's not the first time people, evangelists or ministers will say these kind of words to get the crowd excited. The conversation is about how we have enabled these kinds of speeches. You know, you hear from the responses, if you watch it, and I'll call for the video in a minute, you hear that this is something where you're playing, hey, yes, preacher and pastor, we do these things to endear them towards these kinds of speeches that put them in this kind of trouble. But I'd like those of you that haven't seen this video to watch it in a minute.
And the people listening to that sermon at that time will simply be thinking, how do I get quick money? How do I get to the point where I can say, I have arrived, and I have arrived mentally? I be Bendel girl, a normal thing. I don't arrive. You know, we want to let you know, people want to wear the things and let you see, and that's what I heard. And then you went into it and said, in COVID, it was in COVID, yes, he explained that he was talking about bonding of families at the time of COVID. But then he went further and said, there's a rumor that I have a machine printing money in my house. You didn't debunk it. Yeah. You didn't bring people to reason. And I now I saw it on Nation Online. I retweeted it. Somebody had the audacity, 2 of them, to come and say, your religion is not that religion. Just respect your life. Excuse me. We did not talk religion here. We are a country of large suffering and poverty. Right. I'm not saying he caused it. I'm saying we don't encourage the mindset that worsens our situation.
Thank you. Mary, let me pause you there for a second, because that was the angle I was also going to bring from the materialistic part of it, where it seems as though we are totally bereft of ideas on how to go about preaching and encouraging people without using these kinds of things. I also hear BC saying that she understands the intent. The intent was not to rub it in your face, like, I didn't have COVID, though, but to say that even within this period, I also prospered. That was the message, but he could have used better examples and better ways of approaching it.
You
and
can
I get
use
that.
better language.
Let me come to Mary.
You can be modest in language.
Yes, yes. Let me come to Mary for a minute.
So for me, I like the progression of how everything happened, and we learned from it. And I think also the apostle has done something a bit different than what we normally expect. Usually when a man of God or a leader concerning anything is called out, they come back even more vitriolic, do you understand? So he came out and said, I made a mistake. Even when I watched it myself, I regretted what I said. So I respect that and I appreciate that. And people, because of the position you hold and the influence that you have, people will also learn from that. That when you make a mistake, you can own it and move from there. But even in his apology, he said, well, this is what I was trying to say, which is families became stronger during this period. But if your concern is about my 3 jets, you go die. Exactly. Do you understand? So that's the same, there's that same attitude, there's that same language. So I understand Christianity, religion, has this way specifically when it talks about the faithfuls, those who believe in God. It's like, okay, you will have the grace of wealth. Everyone around you will suffer. So Christians carry themselves in such a way that I am going to make it while you guys are not. And I get that. But there's also the part of what will Jesus do? Jesus was kind to everyone. So we're saying, while you make your wealth, what are you making your wealth for? it should also be about sharing kindness. There's nothing wrong with that. He did mention that he's done some philanthropic work and everything, and we give you kudos for that. But in this particular message, you're preaching avarice, and the Bible talks about that. Acquiring wealth for wealth's sake, for the fact that I can look at it and count it and say, look at what I have. Imagine if he said, in this COVID, we acquired 1 more jet, and we're sending food and medicines to all the villages across Nigeria. We've added it to the 2 jets who have been doing the same thing. Imagine how everyone here will stand up and clap for him.
Exactly.
We thank you. We appreciate your wealth making. Good on you. But sometimes, as you mentioned, Nima, this is a country where there's so much poverty. We're not saying you're responsible for each and every one of us, but you have the influence of what's the word? You know, the mindset. You're trying to, change the mindset and use every opportunity you have to do that for the better.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we're taking some phone calls. You can call us on 081-270-253-687 or 091-3907-6948. After the break, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
We're taking calls. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-3907-6948. Please, when you do call, no insults. We're trying to have a conversation here. BC, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so Miriam mentioned something I wanted to respond to. Said if the apostle had, told us that he bought these jets because he wanted to, take relief materials to people who need it, we would have clapped. Honestly, we wouldn't have clapped. The same us who would say, why are you showing off the goodness you are doing for other people? You're supposed to do it in secret so that the good Lord will bless you in secret. Also, I remember that even Jesus Christ that came to give himself for us, at some point he sat down and he enjoyed himself. The lady who came and broke the alabaster box on him, and the disciples said, why don't we sell this and use the money to take care of the poor? And he said, the poor will always be in your midst. It is not anybody's responsibility to take anybody out of poverty. Salvation is personal. You do your work, you work hard enough and pray that God answers you to take you out of poverty. It is not the pastor's responsibility not to have a life, to ensure that all his life he uses it to keep lifting you out of poverty.
But the money he has, where's the money coming from? See, I don't want to take this conversation there.
I think we should not take away okay, let's take for instance, if he had broken down the uses of that private jet. Because I remember there was a time a man of God said he needed to buy a private jet because every time he had a ministration, he was not able to meet up because of traffic. And he was missing out on his ministrations where he was going to heal people. So he had to buy a private jet. But that's not the crux of the conversation Apostle Suleman was having at the time. So he couldn't have told us, okay, I bought this jet because I wanted to use it for what, and what. If we go deep, we will see that they actually use those materials to help the poor, even more than most of us do. But the conversation was about helping people build their faith. That irrespective of the circumstances, you can still make something out of it. So I wouldn't want us to crucify him for the conversation. If you
He's
say
not being
his
crucified.
choice of words, if you say his choice of words, it could have been better. But you know that we all have different personalities.
Okay, point taken.
Some people seem to be boastful, even when they are not. That's just how they speak. Others seem to be humble, even when we know they are not humble. But
Okay,
that's
point.
just how
Wait,
they
let
speak.
me come to Miriam. I'll come to you. I'll come to you for a second. Let me come to Miriam for a second.
I would have agreed with you if everything stopped at the first conversation he had. But he came out and he apologized for the exact thing that he regretted, and which was saying that he wished COVID didn't happen. He did not apologize for saying that he had acquired 3 jets. He went as far as saying that if he pay you, die.
If you die.
May I?
It's his private jet.
May I?
1 second, let me.
Yeah. So, and then if your money is missing, is your money missing? There's an attitude we're talking about. Secondly, we're talking about Jesus here. Let's not oversimplify Jesus for the sake of just this conversation. Do you understand? Let's not put Jesus in a box to just make this conversation exciting. We know what Jesus did. If we follow the Bible, we know that Jesus is about caring for everybody. It's about showing kindness. It's about sacrificing yourself, sacrificing everything for everyone. Nobody is talking. the back and forth. Not everybody's asking Apostle Paul to take people out of poverty, to be responsible for every poor person. We're saying you have a platform. You have huge influence. When you speak, and millions listen to you. You can use it to improve, upgrade, educate mindsets. We have a crop of young people recently that all they do is try to get illegal wealth. They think that success is all about just the money that you have. They don't understand that there's a use for it. There's a purpose for it. Teach people purpose.
Right. Let me take this call. It's been holding for a while. Elijah, are you there? Elijah. Oh, I think that call has been lost. Elijah, are you there? Okay, let Nima jump in here. No. Let me let Nima jump in here. Go ahead, Nima.
Let me agree with some people with their voice, because my voice on the normal day is fight voice. Even when I'm greeting in the morning, we are fighting because of the way the voice is. So let's assume his voice, and you forget purpose. What the reality on ground is that we have over 200 million people in Nigeria, and we have the largest percentage of those numbers unemployed. Because while religion is preaching multiply, we are losing industries. We don't have workplaces to put them. We don't have anything to help them. And millionaires that are building their own economies abroad are donating vaccines that we are waiting to receive when Ghana have already started vaccinating. That's the reality. Private jets. So if you now ask me, I just quickly went to mathematics school. I'm not saying that you don't have right. He had a right to luxury, so he had one private jet, but he wanted to boast, he bought another one, and he wanted to boast, he bought another one. So now you'll not be looking to Mark Zuckerberg and what's the other one? Elon Musk. Yeah. Let me join them. The way they used to call them Elon Musk, Ibadan style, to come and donate vaccines. Because when we had entered COVID, those people donated masks, oxygen and all of them. We waited. We even criticized government for donating. Our rich men had to go and join and start COVID. And none of those rich men that are donating to COVID today that were waiting to now audit what has been disbursed are boasting of a private jet in this time. But you have a congregation of millions of people and online viewership of that number, and you did not tell them how you have used. When MTN donated $1 million, I took the headline in the front page and we clap. Because that's somebody. So, Obiatumi is wrong to say we will not clap if you come and tell us that you are giving people food.
Okay, we have to wrap up this conversation because we have our celebrity guest is waiting. But I think I hear BC. Yes, a man is entitled to the wealth he has acquired legitimately. Yes. Nobody's saying you shouldn't. And you can hang in there, and you can if you want to boast about it, that's your space. But while you are boasting in the midst of poverty, in the midst of where there are useful, there are needs that you can actually help. Not that you're not doing, I'm sure you're probably doing behind the doors, behind closed doors, we're not seeing it. But when you boast in public to a congregation of people who are also in need, it comes across as distasteful. That you're not being, you're not being sensitive.
When you boast because you're untouchable, because if you boast of 3 private jets in England, they will do the maths for you. And the people that should visit you will visit you. You will show us how you acquire that wealth.
But because in Nigeria, if you boast of 3 private jets,
EFCC can look and check file. Just like Lagos State looked away when their speaker had a rally in COVID and did not enforce COVID guidelines. But they arrested the young men at the toll gates.
Because of one message that is passed amongst many messages. That is just what I'm preaching. If you are probably a member of the church and you have noticed that this is the pattern, this man does not give us any form of value. He does not teach us how to make wealth. He does not teach us how to pray. He does not teach us anything. He just comes here to tell us what he has acquired. And you have that. Then you can say that this man is truly not representing what he should represent. But for you to take out just that message and just assume that this is who he is because he preached this message, I think it's very unfair on him.
Let me wrap up on that. Unfortunately, that's all we can see because we have a celebrity guest who is waiting for us to jump in. I'd love to take more phone calls. Do we have any tweets, Nima? Very quickly. Let's take about 4 tweets so we can run off.
Okay, so people are complaining our audio is not good. Victor says, I believe the pastor's words were taken out of context. One can actually begin a statement very well but end it badly. For saying he was praying for COVID not to end for his own benefit and his wife rejoicing was totally wrong. Period. Papurity said, okay, go on.
Kenny Adeboye says the reason this got such attention is because pastors primarily live on gifts and contributions from commonwealth of many people. Such boasting is very insensitive when you know that the majority of the people who contributed to your wealth are living in poverty.
That's all we can take on this. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we're bringing our guests. I'm so excited. Stay with us. We'll be right back.